All right, it is 10 a.m. and we want to be respectful of everyone's time, so we'll go ahead and get started. And if some folks trickle in and join us, that's fine as well. So good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here on a Friday. My name is Nicole Zauner, and I'm the coordinator of student programs and program impact within the Office of Student Engagement at the CBA. So thank you for joining us. This session will cover the accountancy concentration. Today you will hear from Dr. Hugh Forsyth, who is the chair of the accountancy department, as well as Loredana Filka and Mayra Cavazos, two of our outstanding senior students. Before we get started, I do want to go over some housekeeping items. First off, please be aware that we are recording today's event. We may share the recording and presentation via email or our website in the future. Your participation in this event acts as your consent to be recorded during today's presentation. In addition, I'm sure it goes without being said, but please keep all comments appropriate or we may find it necessary to remove you from the event without other notice. Please note I have dropped a link in the chat box to sign in for today's event. I'll drop it again throughout the presentation. So please just make sure you take a second to just quickly log in your student email so that we can capture everyone who did attend today. Throughout the event, you can also utilize the chat box to ask any questions. We'll make sure to try and address them by the end of the presentation. The session is limited to 45 minutes. If there are questions that are unanswered, which shouldn't be the case, but if there are, I'll make sure to download the chat and follow up with you all via the student emails that you use for sign-in. I think that's all that we need to know, so let's go ahead and get started. Dr. Forsyth, please take it away.
Okay, well, we'd like to welcome you to this session, and we're just here to give you a little idea of what you're signed up for, and it's actually it's the most popular major, although we don't call it major. It's a concentration, but it's the most popular one in the College of Business. We have the most students, and the reason why is because people find out that you have this concentration, you have a really good chance of getting a good job. And so we want to talk about what the classes are that you're going to be taking and what options you have, what electives you can take, and then how to set yourself up to get that job. So why don't we have Loredana, you want to take it from there?
Yes, so I'll be sharing my screen and show like just a visual aid that we prepared. So first, we want to introduce ourselves. And my name is Loredana. I'm a graduating accountancy student. I transferred to Sacramento State in 2018, and since then I try to be as much as involved with College of Business and different events like held by the Office of Student Engagement. And I'm very excited I'll be graduating this semester. And then we have Mayra Cavazos.
Yes, so I'm Mayra. I am a senior year accountancy student. I started at Sac State my first year in 2017, so I've been here all 4 years. And I'm also in our Business Honors program, so that's a special program that we offer at the College of Business. You start it in your junior year, and it's just a little accelerated, a few extra classes, and a lot of opportunities for further growth within the College of Business.
Okay, and we have Dr. Hugh Forsyth. Do you mind telling us about how long have you been in the accountancy department and professor at Sacramento State?
Well, I got here in 2004, so I've been here 16 years, and my area that I teach is cost accounting or managerial accounting. I've also taught systems, and I've also taught tax in the past. I teach in our master's program, which I wanted to tell you about a little later, and also our executive MBA program, and then our regular MBA program. So I teach in all those different programs. A lot of times I teach the same subject, but I teach it at different levels. If you're an undergraduate student, you get it one flavor of it. If you're an executive, you get a different flavor of it. So I've been the chair of the accounting department for the past year, so I'm kind of a newbie at that. And basically, the part I like about it is when I get to talk to the students. I don't like all the bureaucratic stuff I have to do, but the students are the most fun to talk to. So we're here to answer your questions and also to give you enough information so you know how to ask a question. So that's about it.
Perfect. And now we just created a screenshot of our accountancy concentration courses. And I don't know if you already enrolled in your first upper division classes or you already enrolled in any of the electives. But if you have any questions about these courses, we'll be very happy to answer them.
Hi, I had a question, if that's all right, about the electives.
Mm-hmm.
For someone who might be interested in more of the cost or managerial accounting, would there be specific electives that you would recommend for that individual?
Yeah, so let's go to that slide. Is it showing now?
The overview of concentration courses?
Yeah.
Can everybody else see? Because I think I'm sharing it, but I'm not.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe I need to get out of this view or something. All right, I can see it on my other slide. Okay, so there's, you've already taken managerial accounting, which is accounting 2, I'm assuming. And that is similar, very similar to the cost accounting classes. Managerial accounting, cost accounting are both about the same. But one required course that you'll have is Accounting 121. It's cost accounting. I've taught it for many times. And it's basically accounting 2 stepped up 2 or 3 notches. Gives you more specifics and more details on the same subject. But a lot of the topics are the same. And then the next class we have is Accounting 122. It's an elective, and it's only taught once a year, and it's called Advanced Management Accounting. So those would be the 3 cost accounting related courses that we offer. Have you already taken the 121?
I have not. I'm actually a part of this year's business honors cohort, so I'm taking those courses right now.
Got it. Okay. All right. But you did take Accounting 2, right? And I'm assuming that you like that subject? Okay. Yeah, to me, it's kind of the part of accounting that's based on what do you need to do to make more money for the company, rather than just fill out, produce the forms and things that can be audited and all the paperwork. So there's a lot more managerial decision making going on in that kind of accounting, which is what I would prefer.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Would there be any, so kind of going into that same kind of career path, would there be any of the other electives that you would think that would benefit that more than the others?
Well, you definitely should look at, where is it? 141, Accounting Information Systems Development. Because a lot of times the person in the office who knows about the systems, the IS person, they're the ones that are most valued. So if you're going to be a CFO of a company, you want to know how the systems operate. So I would definitely take 141. And the other ones, if you're going to be doing management in a government setting, which we do a lot here in Sacramento, being the capital of the state, and we have a lot of federal government too. There's tons of government jobs in Sacramento. You might want to take the 161 Government and Nonprofit Accounting.
Thank you so much.
Those 2 probably to be the ones.
And one question that I had when I just transferred to Sac State, and when I looked at all of these classes, was what classes should I take in case I want to pursue my CPA? If I want to take the CPA exam, I apologize.
Yeah.
And the first thing that I did, I went to the office hours of my accounting professor, and I asked that question. So do you mind, Dr. Forsyth, to share
Sure.
what is your opinion on that?
Yeah, so there is a heavy emphasis on the CPA exam for financial accounting as opposed to managerial accounting. So all of the financial accounting classes are going to help you get prepared for the CPA exam. That would be, now I'm talking about electives, intermediate accounting 3, that's accounting 113, even advanced accounting 117. And then they've just in the last few years, they've added an ethics portion to the CPA exam. So you need to take 132. Then the other ones, it's minimal amounts. There's a little bit of tax, and there's but there is a big section on auditing. So you're required to take 131, survey of auditing, but you might also want to look at, let's see, actually 132 now, our ethics class is the follow-up after the auditing. So those would be the ones that I would focus on. Let's see. And also the accounting information systems. There are probably going to be some questions on the CPA exam for that as well.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Yeah, thank you. And does anybody else has any questions about any of the required courses or electives? Okay, so maybe we can move to another section and talk about potential career paths in accounting. I don't even know where to start here. So,
well, before we get into any specific jobs, I just want to let you know that having a bachelor's degree in accounting is a very good basis for any job that you would take, not only in the business field, but in any field. Because almost every organization you're going to join as an employee, they need money. They need to have a source of income, and they need to know how to manage their money. And if they can find a student that understands the monetary system within their company, the financials, they're going to hire you over somebody that doesn't have that background, because somebody else that has a background more on the soft skills, they have the employer has the idea, we can teach that to them in our way, in our culture of our company. But it's very hard for them to go back and teach the financial accounting or managerial accounting concepts and get that foundation built in new employees. They'd rather just hire somebody that has all those technical and quantitative skills intact already. And if you can add systems to accounting, you really are premium. So.
And just to talk about my experience when I started to delve into all of these career paths and thinking about what would I want to do after I graduate, it was a little bit overwhelming because it just feels there's like so many opportunities in so many areas, because almost every business, even like nonprofit and government, everybody, like all of them have accounting departments. So you can do accounting anywhere, anywhere you want. So like one good way that I decided to look more into it is by talking to people about their own experiences and in my case, I joined some student organizations because there is accounting society, there is Beta Alpha Psi. So there you can learn more about these specific sectors, and you get to talk to professionals from this sector. So right now, for example, I'm concentrating more on public and private accounting. So, and I would want to be a tax accountant. But as you can see, there's like so many other possibilities. You can be a budget analyst, even bookkeeping, a certified internal auditor, and a CFO. You can get your CPA and even open your own firm. You can do forensic accounting, government accounting, and you can be an auditor, tax accounting. So I don't know if you have you thought about what would you want to do after you major in accounting?
I have. So I'm looking more into government accounting. I'm looking to work with the state of California. And I'm actually getting more and more interested in data analytics and accounting analytics. So I am taking AIS 141 as one of my electives. I'm going to be taking Accountancy 161, Government and Nonprofit. And so I'm hoping to work, it'll probably be more like internal accounting, whether that's accounts payable, accounts receivable, you know. Mm-hmm. But government and analytics is what I'm looking towards.
Awesome. And I know that the College of Business is introducing a new course, the data analytics. Is that correct?
Yes,
yeah.
we're trying to get that started in the spring.
Yes, and when I saw that, I thought, oh, this is probably not the best time for me to graduate, because I was really interested in that class. And I know that AS 141 is the prerequisite for that class, so I couldn't take it this fall. But I believe it's a great class, especially because more of the firms and the jobs that are out there, they require some of those skills. So it's a great class to take.
Right. Now, another thing I wanted to say, we have an advantage in the accounting concentration in that we have a system set up where the employers will come to you to try to find you rather than you go hunt for a job. So we have two accounting clubs. One is called Beta Alpha Psi and the other one's called Accounting Society. I would recommend that you join both of them. They both have a little bit different focus. And the thing that's good about them is that they set up all the networking events for you and all the information sessions, and they even teach you how to prepare yourself for interviews and how to write your resume. And even they used to teach you whether to use the little fork or the big fork when you're eating dinner. So all these things are done so that the accounting firms and also all the businesses, they know that if they want to find a good student, they need to go to the Beta Alpha Psi event or the Accounting Society event or meet the firms. And that's where they're going to find you. It's really discouraging when you get your bachelor's degree and then you got to go hit the street and try to find a job. It'd be better if they came to you in your junior year, offered you an internship, and then they just hired you on and you had a job already set up for yourself before you even graduate. So it's going to relieve a lot of stress for you if you get into these two clubs.
Yes,
other majors don't have that across campus. We're one of the few where they come to us.
Yes, and I just want to add to that even in this environment right now that we are virtual, both of these clubs are holding their Meet the Firms events. So it's a great way to connect with the recruiters and employers and learn more about the jobs that are available right now, because they are hiring. They're hiring interns and then even like full-time associates after you graduate. So I would definitely recommend to join any of those clubs. And this is how I would want to transition to our next slide, which is accounting is more than just numbers, and it's more than just good grades, because like from my personal experience, you would want to get involved in accounting student organizations such as Accounting Society and Beta Alpha Psi, also some other organizations. There is Women in Business, there is Business Analytics Club that they actually work with you on different certificates. There is like many clubs that you can broaden your experience and actually connect with different students and learn much more about the business world, because having a degree in accounting is great, but just to have a general idea about everything else, it's very useful, especially when you're looking for a job and you don't really know how everything is going to turn out. Another advice that I would have is to actively engage with the College of Business, especially with the Office of Student Engagement. Go and talk to the advisors, to attend all the events they're having. I know that next week we have a BizFest, it's a great event too. You can go and connect with different clubs because they will be presenting. Also, I would highly encourage you to apply for internships, because if you go to Handshakes, there's a lot of the offers that they have for internships. So you can look into that. If you have any questions, you can reach out to Accounting Society or Beta Alpha Psi, because they definitely, it's more organized over there. They will tell you about all the internships that are available. But if you want to do it by yourself, Handshake is a great place to start. Also network with other students in your classes, and even like in the organizations that will be joining, because this is a great opportunity to like learn more about yourself and see what others are doing and how they are pursuing their degree and what's their vision after they graduate. Because I personally found that part like very, very useful, because when I started my journey into accounting, I didn't really know where I want to end up. So that was very helpful for me too, in helping me figuring that out. And also, it's great to attend different workshops like resume workshops, LinkedIn, because right now everything is virtual, and connecting with recruiters and employers is great to do that on LinkedIn. And also different mock interviews. And I know that some of these workshops are offered by career centers, so you can look into that. And also they post there are like a lot of events posted on Handshake. So there's the section about all the jobs on Handshake, and there is events, so you can sign up for different events as well. So that was my part about like what would I want to encourage all the students in accounting to pursue. I don't know, Myra, would you have any advice for students?
Yeah, so definitely all of the same stuff that Loredana covered. You're going to want to get involved with the student biz clubs. Those are going to be your areas where you network with your peers, with recruiters, even professors sometimes, to get you started and to get all your questions answered. The Office of Student Engagement for the College of Business is also a great resource. You have your advisors there. You have connections to more recruiters and other events through there. And the workshops, like Loredana was mentioning, those are offered by the university's Career Center, as well as a few with our biz clubs in themselves. So Accounting Society, BAP, both of them offer workshops in that area. And you just connect with your fellow students, recruiters, go to your professors, get their information, get help from them. Just try to go to as many people as you can and get the information that you want to find.
I see Miguel asked, what are the major differences between the different accounting firms? Now, there's the big firms, and then there in Sacramento we have quite a few regional firms as well. For example, one firm that I've worked with before is Moss Adams, and there's a few other regional firms that they're very well run, and they're quite large, but they're not international. They might just be up and down the West Coast or something like that. But the difference between them oftentimes is what kind of clients they have. They tend to specialize in different business sectors. So I think Moss Adams is heavy into healthcare, and there's another regional firm that is big into construction. Others, depending on what area of the country they're in, they might be into timber or forestry, that kind of a thing. All those kind of companies, they hire accounting firms that specialize in their field. And so, but for you, just entering or getting your first job in with one of these firms, you're probably going to be more focused on what kind of relationships you can connect with the different recruiters and the managers, the office manager, thing like that. So you're going to really want to make some personal connections with them to find out if they're the kind of people that you feel comfortable working with. So, and that they're looking the same way. Are you the kind of employee that they feel comfortable working with? So that's part of the whole process. It's not just one hour interview. You kind of have several different occasions to get to know them, and they get to know you.
And I see that Daniel has another question about what is the difference between Accounting Society and BAP. And definitely, I like Nicole's advice that you would want to visit the BizFest and talk to them personally. But from my experience, I was a member of both of those organizations, because when I transferred to Sacramento State, I joined Accounting Society. And then I took a break. I didn't do anything one semester. And then I joined Beta Alpha Psi. And the main difference that I can tell you right now is that Beta Alpha Psi is an honors organization. So there is a GPA requirement. But you would have great opportunities joining both of those organizations, because the main focus is that they put you in contact and with the firms, and they help you build your professional skills and like interview skills and resume skills. So yeah, probably that's the main difference, that BAP has a GPA requirement.
I think maybe BAP also focuses more on public accounting. This is just very general, but Accounting Society is involved with a lot of private companies that would hire you as their company accountant instead of being a CPA auditor or tax professional. And you would be working your way up to become more of a higher upper level management in accounting, and then maybe even get to the top where you're the CFO. But the other way to get there is to go through public accounting firms and get your training with them for a couple of years. And the way they train you is they send you out to audits or tax engagements with clients. And then after you've worked with those clients for a couple of years, the client likes you so much that they hire you, and you become their accountant or their CFO. You used to be their auditor, but now they've hired you to be their internal accountant. So that's another route of how to climb in your career. But the CPA, the public accounting firms are probably the best place to get your training, which you need those 2 years of experience to be certified as a CPA.
Yes, from my experience talking with professionals, a lot of them start at the big companies, big public accounting companies, and then once they build up on their experience and skills, they even open their own firms, or they join as partners at different firms. So it's definitely place to start. And so yes, Miguel, I would recommend joining both clubs. Probably if you have you're taking a lot of classes. I don't know if you're working part-time, it can be quite a commitment, because for BAP there's some attendance requirements as well. But I would definitely recommend joining both if possible, because they have quite slightly different opportunities, because there's different sponsors for the clubs, different firms that sponsor the clubs, so you would get to talk to different professionals. But I definitely learned from both of the clubs, and most importantly, you get to connect with other students, which is great, because then you go to your classes, you basically know everybody. So that's great too. It's a great experience of being in college and connect and be involved, and just be proactive with your education and career.
Both of these clubs have a cost to them, but it's a very minor investment that you're making. If you get a job because you were in one of these clubs, the return on that little tiny investment is going to be huge. So I would recommend joining both clubs, pay whatever the cost is. I think it's like a cost of a textbook to get into the club each semester. And but the payoff is huge if you involve yourself and take it seriously.
Yes, and especially this semester, because everything is online. We're mindful. I'm a part of BAP right now. I'm an officer, so we're mindful that we don't give the same opportunities. But so we reduce the cost. And I know that we work with accounting societies, so they reduce the costs for the dues as well. So probably it's a great time to start and see if you like it, because it's even more affordable than the previous semesters. I'm not aware about the CMA certificate. Dr. Forsing, do you know?
It's kind of an up and coming certification. Doesn't have the prestige of CPA yet, but CMA is the management accounting side. You know, there's usually financial accounting, and then there's managerial accounting. That's why you take accounting 1 and accounting 2. Those are the two basic tracks for accounting. So this is the internal accounting CMA certificate, and it looks good on your resume, and it also indicates that you have studied and know all the different aspects of the managerial or cost accounting side of things. But I would say you need to get your CPA first. If you can only get one of the two, you better get your CPA, and then get your CMA to go after that.
And also, if you're interested to get your CPA, there is Becker events. Becker is it's not a company.
It's a CPA exam preparation course that they put you through, and there's different ones. Becker's kind of like the Cadillac version, and then there's other companies that cost less and have less bells and whistles.
Correct. But I wanted just to mention that they come to our campus, and they actually do some. They can help you review your transcripts and let you know what classes do you still need for your CPA, how many units, and they can go through all of that, like some details that you would need to know if you want to pursue your CPA.
Yeah, so I've attended a few of those Becker CPA days. They're super helpful. They review your transcripts, like Loredana mentioned. I'm actually planning to graduate with 150 units, so I have all my units done for the CPA exam. But I went to one of those days to make sure I had all the right classes, because there are class requirements, and topic requirements that you need to meet. So I got that all figured out. And then they can also help give some tips on just like the test taking, the test versus your actual certificate, stuff like that. So they're a very good resource. I believe the Office of Student Engagement offers like a CPA day every month almost. So definitely look into that if you're headed towards getting your CPA.
Yeah, and when we teach the classes in your concentration, we don't specifically teach to the CPA exam. So what you need to do is get a general broad education in accounting through your concentration, but then at the very end, after you've graduated, you need to spend 6 months preparing with a Becker or some other preparation course, because they're going to actually teach you how to pass the test. Rather than learn a whole bunch of new accounting things, you're going to just learn what has been on the test for years and years in the past.
And I also would want to mention that some of the public accounting firms and even some bigger private accounting firms, they would want their candidates to be CPA eligible and have all the units. So it's great to look right now into that before you're like almost there graduating and kind of trying to get more classes to be CPA eligible.
Yeah, like Myra, she was smart because she, you usually just take 120 credits to get your bachelor's, but you need 150 to be able to get the CPA. So she figured out how to get those extra 30 credits while she was getting her regular 120, and she got the right classes that count for the CPA exam. So that's the best thing. You got to find out what those classes are and then take them.
Exactly. My biggest thing is I'm in college for 4 years. I have the opportunity. I came in with a few AP credits, so I already had a little bit of a jump start. And once I knew I was interested in the CPA, I took advantage. I made sure I was taking the right classes. So I'm getting essentially the credits for a bachelor's and a master's degree within my 4 years of my bachelor's. So if you have the opportunity, I would definitely recommend looking into it. Saves you money, saves you time, and gets you ahead.
Now, there's so many different aspects of accounting, and you don't know yet exactly probably what you're going to be interested in. And your interests are going to change as you go through your classes and as you start your career. But what I would encourage you to do is start talking to people that are doing jobs that you admire and you would like to do, and ask them. Just go. Everybody likes to talk about their job, but not that many people are asking questions. So go and ask them, if you can spend some time with them and ask them just curious questions that you have about the accounting profession, the types of job, and that you're possibly interested in. What's daily life like when you have that kind of a job? Things like that.
Perfect. And I think that LinkedIn is a great tool for that, because first you can connect with your peers. Like you can connect with us on LinkedIn, and then from there you can see who you're in contact with the different professionals, and you can look at their profile and see what was their path, what university they went to, how did they start, what was their first job. Because you can, like on LinkedIn, it's almost like a map for for people who are looking for their career, because you can see from like others examples where you can start and where you want to move towards. So if you want to know more information, Miguel, about BAP, you can visit the website. It's csqsbap.com, and the applications. I think the fees are not directly on the website, but it's inside the application, and you can. Thank you, Nicole. And you can also email me, because there is the national correspondent at BAP.com, and you can email us, and we can give you more information about that. And we had the info night last night. So in case you missed that, we have an immersion day tomorrow, and just let me know. You can email me. I can leave you my email here, and I can give you more information about that.
And kind of on that same topic, Accounting Society's info night was was this Tuesday. We had our first general meeting last night. Fees this semester for Accounting Society, I believe they're around the $50 range for new members, and I believe those fees are due somewhere next week. So if you're interested, there are the Accounting Society officers. I can see if I can find one of their email addresses if you want to look into it more and ask some questions about Accounting Society.
Do you know if any of those info nights were archived?
I believe so. I think Accounting Society's was. I don't know where, but I can ask.
Okay.
Yeah, we were debating about recording our info night, but I know for the immersion day, we'll be recording that. And right now we're setting up our Canvas webpage for all the students, so it'll be easier to navigate and have those recordings. But unfortunately, I'm sorry, we didn't have that one for.
But also, all of the BizFest sessions will be recorded, and I know both of those organizations will be participating in that. So they'll have a second run through of connecting with students, and we'll make sure to post those to the OSC YouTube channel afterwards.
Okay.
We have a couple of more minutes. If anybody has any closing questions or any closing thoughts, wisdom, experience that they want to share that they were not able to yet at this point.
As you can see, there's a lot of opportunities and a lot of resources available to you, but the burden's on you to be aggressive. If you don't go after it, you might not get the benefits. So most accounting majors are A personality types that they go after it. So all of your other classmates are going after it, so you better follow suit.
Yeah, thank you, Natalie, and Miguel, and Danielle, and Cameron for attending. I hope everybody learned something. Yeah, I hope it was useful.
This was great. So it looks like there aren't any other questions, so we'll go ahead and wrap it up. And just to echo off of what Loredana just said, just thank you for joining us for our first virtual networking concentration mixer. Feel free to follow up with folks with their shared info that's been posted. If you haven't had a chance, please log in for the event via the website that I posted in the beginning, and then I also privately messaged to everyone as well. Thank you, Dr. Forsick and Myra and Loredana, for sharing your experience and wisdom today. And we hope everyone's had a great week too, and we'll have a successful rest of the semester. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Natalie.
Bye.